So it occurred to me that many of you looked at my story on Instagram or my post and was like, yeah, I've heard of this smudging thing, but I don't really know what it is. And I, of course, did not go into any details. So first, I apologize for that. As a healer and teacher, it's my responsibility to educate. And I thought while I was out getting my morning steps that I could do that. So, smudging is a form of cleansing. It's a Native American tradition that started many hundreds of years ago. And it was a way to ward off evil spirits. And you use sage amongst some other things depending on your exact beliefs, you know, what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Maybe you want to add in some lavender to kind of calm the energies down or something like that. But that's what smudging is, or how it started, basically. And then I don't know the exact dates or anything like that. I just can only tell you based on what I was taught. If I'm wrong, I apologize, as always. So, that's how I started with it. I was, you know, somebody that wanted to, I had a lot of dark energy around me and needed some light. And I went to this bookstore, I forget, somewhere in Scottsdale. I live in Arizona. And somewhere in Scottsdale, there is a bookstore. It's not there anymore, but it was on Scottsdale Road. It was a metaphysical bookstore. And I used to get all of my sage there and other supplies before places like Black Market Minerals opened in Arizona Mills, or, you know, some other places. But I used to go there and get my sage and other things, crystals and stuff like that. And I started doing that, like I said, to get rid of the bad energy that I felt was around me. It was very obvious that, you know, at that time, I was going through a lot. I was going through a very dark period of my life, and I needed a way out. And after doing my research and me, you know, living an alternative lifestyle, I was like, well, I need to go ahead and try this. And I did. And I started with just my room because it's my place of Zen. It's my place where I go to relax and get away from everybody, and it allows me to not impose my personal beliefs on, you know, the people that I live with. At the time, it was my family. You know, as an adult, it's been roommates and such, because, you know, just because I believe in something and know it to work and be true does not mean that it is. So, you know, I went into my room, I started burning the sage, and I would say chants, because I had read that, you know, it was when you burn sage, you're supposed to chant or sing or hum or something like that, that, you know, you're developing a mantra where you can say it over and over. And me being a practicing Buddhist, I've developed the practice of 3, or the rule of 3, and it kind of covers all of your main energy centers, your mind and your thoughts, your mouth and your communication, and your physical, you know, actions and whatnot. So for me, I do everything in 3s, and that's why, and you'll hear it more and see it more in my videos and stuff. But so I, you know, was doing this to get rid of the dark energy. And once I started to realize that it really worked, I began to wonder why. I also noticed that there is a difference between me burning like a sage smelling candle or sage scented or fragranced oils. And I started doing more research, and the differences between, you know, incense, candles, oils, and that sort of thing, and their different purposes when it comes to aromatherapy, which is something that I will discuss in a later video. But just a real quick Cliff Notes version of it. Within aromatherapy, you're using different tools, the tools being the incense, the oils, the candles, to create the aroma, and each tool has a serves a different purpose. Specifically with incense, incense allows for you to have the aroma and the scent, but it also allows for the smoke. And what smoke does is kind of breaks up the energy. It's like very strong. It's kind of like somebody coming through with a sledgehammer and breaking up the energy and then replacing it with the energy and healing powers from the incense that you're burning. So that's why I noticed a difference when I would burn sage, the incense, or the actual plant versus the oil, the candle, and that sort of thing. So I went back to my incense, or my plants actually, which most incense, if it's pure, it's made out of the plant. So you're getting the same thing essentially, because it's really hard, especially in Arizona, if you don't know where to go, to find good natural products. You have to really do your research and make sure that the person or the people that you're purchasing from, they know what they're doing, have done their research, etc. So I did all of that, and I went back to the incense, and for me, it helped me to come out of a very dark place in my life. I apologize for not giving you the one-on-one visual attention, but I am walking, and if you know me, you know that I am pretty clumsy. So with all of these plants around here, I don't want to happen to fall into a tree or a cactus or something like that. Like, that would be ridiculous. Anyway, so I apologize for not giving you the eye-to-eye contact that I should. So as I continue to grow within my practice and within my life and on my path, I became more confident in myself and what I was doing. And then I started reading more about sage and how it can affect me in a positive way. And that's when I learned about saging on a monthly basis. I learned how energy is recycled, and if we don't renew and release, you know, we're just recycling old energy. And I didn't want that. I wanted something, I wanted a new and fresh start every day. And that's when I started about, I would say, maybe when I was 15, saging once a month on the first day of every month. Because what that does is the first day, it symbolizes a new beginning. It's a new day, a new month. And so I sage once a month, every month. And I sage, depending on my living situation, because again, I don't believe in imposing my beliefs on other people. I believe in sharing my beliefs and my experiences. And then if you have questions or something like that, then yes, I will teach you whatever I know and help you to learn as I learn. But, so it depends on my living situation. Sometimes I've had roommates in the past, my son, I don't want to necessarily impose anything on him. If he has questions about what I'm doing, that's when I teach him, because I want him to develop his own path. And I want him to learn because he wants to learn, not because his mom is making him. So, I obviously will sage my room or the place that I sleep. And then, depending on the circumstances, I will then sage the common areas or the areas that I frequent the most. The restroom. I guess it's time to turn around. Oh, now you get a view of the other side of the street. The kitchen. Any of the common areas that I go to, I will make sure and sage those areas. Now, because my son has picked up on some of the things that I'm doing and seems to be okay with them, I also sage his bedroom. I usually do this when nobody is home, because then I can say whatever I want to say without any interruption. And it's not because, I have an issue with being interrupted or anything, or I'm trying to hide it. It's just that it allows me to focus. And then, if I am home alone, I'm going to let you in on a secret. If you're living with me, you're getting saged every month, because if I'm by myself, which is usually how I sage, I always wait until everybody's gone, and I sage every area that I have access to. So if you don't want to be saged and you don't want to be cleansed for a new beginning and a new start of a new month, lock your door. Anyhow, So I do that, and I have a mantra that I say or something that I chant while I'm doing it, in threes, of course, for my mind, my communication, and my speech and such, and my action. And then I just walk around the room. I have the sage burning, and I thought about doing a video today so you could actually see it in progress, but I'm very protective of my space, and letting you in even through a video made me really nervous. So I was like, you know what, let me ease into that, and maybe next month I'll show you a portion of my house or something like that. But it just made me really nervous because, you know, this is available and streaming worldwide. So some things I have to keep private, and my place of Zen is definitely one of them. So I go through the room. Each room, I'm walking slowly and walking mindfully, and chanting mindfully, and allowing the sage to permeate through each room, and believe and be present in what I'm saying. And it allows me to feel and take comfort in starting a new month. I'm confident that this is going to be a great November, and I'm confident that I've gotten rid of all of the dark energies that were once in my place of living. I'm confident that, you know, I'm starting the month off on a really good foot, and that's all because I saged, because I got rid of all of that negative energy or dark energy that I may have been carrying myself or may have brought in, because as a healer, I absorb your negative energy or dark energy. I don't like using the word negative, dark energy, to help you heal and see the light, and I have to release it somewhere. So when I finally lay my head down, sorry for the background. See, it's that truck. Sorry about that. So when I finally lay my head down, it's in my place of Zen, and that's where I release. And that's another reason why I need to sage, because I release all of the dark energy that I accumulate and collect and steal from you so you can have your light. And it usually happens in my place of Zen. So that's another reason that I sage. I get rid of all of that energy so I can start a new month helping people, helping you heal. I take your dark energy and transform it into light energy. And, you know, this is how I'm able to do it. And I'll be real honest with you. If I have a really bad month, a really bad week, I might do it during the week. I might do it during the month. You're not limited to saging just once a month. You can sage as often as you need to. And that's what's really great about it is, you know, all you need is the plant. That's it. If you saw my Instagram story this morning, I showed you a picture of a small plant that I get right up the street from me at a store called Black Market Minerals. They should really hire me. Just kidding. You know, I love that store so much that I would promote them for free, because I love the owner, I love the energy and everything. And but I showed a little bitty thing of sage that I use to smudge, and it doesn't take much. I think the little bundle is like $3, and it lasts 6 or 7 months depending on how often you use it. So I suggest that you sage, and if you don't know what you're doing, ask me to come and help you. I'd be happy to spend an hour with you showing you the healing powers and the healing benefits of saging and helping you to incorporate them into your life.